It is our duty as humans to stand by truth and justice, because justice for one is justice for all. And if we close our eyes and allow the wicked to flourish, well, there will be no good person. Nobody will be left. It is also our duty to follow and make sure that our eyes are set on the prime suspect in the demise of Mohbad. Somehow, Cynthia has decided not to operate behind the scene. Of course, I guess they observed and they listened and they realized that Mohbad's father had gone to several TV radio stations to express himself, and he has given account of the financial and all that has to do with going to these platforms. Cynthia has decided to go again. You know, she has gone to Chude podcast. From Chude podcast, she went to TVC, and she also had a time on BBC Pidgin, BBC Yoruba. The latest is just some couple of minutes ago, and I want you to pay attention to what she has to say from the beginning to the end. I mean, what came out of her mouth this time around? They quizzed her, they pressed her. They want to know enough of these shenanigans. I've said it times without number. If Cynthia is going to be questioned, let Cynthia be questioned efficiently, appropriately, digging deep, not just for her to come and talk. When Mohbad's father went to Arise Television, it was not a joke. Those men there, they were not there to show pity and empathy. They quizzed him, pressed him, and even we that are justice seekers and have empathy for Mohbad's father, we said, Reuben Abati and his colleague, how dare you guys speak this way to Mohbad's father? But the truth of the matter is, you cannot apply empathy and sympathy alone when you are talking about a case as sensitive as this. It's not about pity party. It's about efficiency. How are you going to arrive where you want to arrive? Have you sued the so-called wife of your son? Have you sued the nurse? Have you sued your son, Adura? Have you sued anybody? What action, legal action have you taken? Or you just want to go around social media talking about how Mohbad's friend said it is only once he had something to do. It sounds stupid, right? So a lot of us looked at it and we are like, okay, we think Mohbad's father needs to understand and process a lot of things. He is kind of getting better in his narration. And now we have Cynthia, who is making the round. It's our job now to go from pillar to post. Without wasting much of your time, let us get right into it. Before we proceed, please like, share, tap on the subscribe button. Returning subscribers and those that have been here, I say very big thank you to you, and to those that have tapped on the thanks button, the one with the love icon, dollar sign in the middle of it. May God bless you. May God replenish your pockets. May your pockets never run dry. If you like what we do here, you can also tap on that button that says thanks. Let's get right into it.
Of my husband is like a good shock to me. So it wasn't something that I planned. Like it was going to happen to me. And, you know, after his demise, it's been from one problem to another, different accusation. Like a lot of people that do not even have a personal relationship with me tend to have so many things to say about me. And, you know, I just realized that no matter what life has thrown at me, I just have to be myself regardless of everything that is happening. And also, I've got to realize that my presence in Liam's life matters more than anything. Yeah. And that alone has been the only thing that's kept me going.
That's good. But what do you think people understand? Do you think about the circumstances of his death? Are there any areas that you want to clear that the public has a wrong perception about?
Yeah, I think one thing is, one thing the reality that people are trying to shift away from is the fact that my husband got injured from a fight with his close friend, and also he was actually treated by a nurse. But
on that day or the day of his death?
On the day of his death, yeah, which was on Tuesday, September 12th. But my father-in-law has, found a way of trying to divert people's attention away from the reality to, to another thing entirely. So, like most people on the public faces do not even go to the real issue on ground anymore.
What really happened that last day?
Yeah. So what actually happened is, like, it was on Tuesday. And a nurse actually came, like his friend, Spending, called a nurse. He was the one that gave us the nurse number, and one of his workers at Bami called the nurse, and the nurse came around on Tuesday. On that Tuesday, he was supposed to go to a podcast interview, but the nurse actually came, and he was actually fine, although he sustained an injury, but he was okay, like it wasn't worse, because he had like plans for that day. So the nurse came, and the nurse gave him injection. I think it was the third injection that he reacted to.
Did she give the injections back to back?
No, it's like the distance wasn't really that much.
Okay,
yeah,
so like an hour or so in between each injection.
Yeah, so it was the third injection that he reacted to.
How did you react to it?
After the injection, he vomited. He peed, and he started having reactions, started having goosebumps all over his body. His heart, he complained that it was feeling hot in his heart. Do you understand? Like, he told us to get him some water, that I want to put some water in his body, which his brother did. And he also said he needed cold, he needed AC. Like, he's feeling hot inside. Like, the injection is making him hot inside. And, we tried our best. We took him to the hospital, and, like 20 minutes after, the doctor said he's dead.
20 minutes after he had landed in the hospital?
Yeah.
20 minutes after he had landed in the hospital?
Yeah.
20 minutes after he had landed in the hospital?
Yeah.
God, everything.
We talked about the CCTV camera. I called the lady. I called one of my goddaughters that knows the owner of that house that the late Mohbad lived with his wife. He rented it, he did not buy it. It's a rented house. To find out if a camera was actually installed there, they said no. I asked Mohbad's wife, they said no. I asked the police, they said no. Now, if a camera was installed there, let's even assume that a camera was installed there. The camera is outside now, not inside the living room, not in their bedroom, not in their staircase, outside. Mohbad died inside the house. Mohbad died inside the house. Mohbad died inside the house. So even if there was a camera outside, how did with the camera outside turn a 360 degree now, zoom into the house to see what happened in the house? Mohbad died inside the house.
The doctor said he was dead.
But that nurse that administered these injections, has any investigation been
yes, but
done about her professionalism or whether she was even a qualified nurse?
Yeah, after my husband's demise, she was arrested, but she was later granted bail. And ever since this whole thing has happened, she has never come out to say anything. And, she sees how people has been bullying me, how people has been calling me so many despicable names, how people has been accusing me wrongly, and she has never said anything. Instead, she's been out there clubbing, partying. Like, the last time I saw a video of her clubbing, like doing lashes, makeup, and, she's out there living her life. And it's just so unfortunate. Yesterday, I think people, like some people are out there talking to her. So those guys were on TikTok, and they were literally saying, they would tell her what to say, because next 2 weeks, March 14 is the next coroner inquest, which the judge asked him to come over to say outside of the story. These same people on TikTok were literally saying it yesterday, that they would tell her what to say to lie against me. Do you understand?
But they found out what was in that third injection that triggered this reaction.
I think they were supposed to do that, but my father-in-law already buried my husband. So when the government autopsy came out, the autopsy result said they cannot determine the cause of death because his body has already decomposed. So they couldn't get the right tissue to use for the autopsy.
But was there any reason your father-in-law buried him? I mean, how soon was he buried after he was...
Like, he wanted to bury him that night, the night that he died.
But is he a Muslim?
he wasn't a Muslim. And, you know, a lot of people actually begged him not to, but he insisted I was going to do that. He wanted to bury him that night.
Did he give any reason for this?
He did not. He did not. He did not. You know, he just said he needs to bury him. Like, a lot of people begged him. He wanted to bury him that night, but they didn't give, like, he actually called the Bale of where he wanted to bury my husband. But the Bale said, there is no way that I cannot bring my husband that night. So he had to wait till the next morning, and, you know. And
even it was such a rush that even the coffin was so small for him.
The coffin that he was the one that got the coffin. And the coffin was, you know, my husband was 6'1". But the coffin was very, very small that he had to break his head.
Oh my God.
Seeing the circumstance surrounding the death that you should have, if you wanted the investigations and autopsy to be done to determine the cause of death, you shouldn't have already buried him, that you had something that you were hiding. What do you have to say about that?
There's nothing that I'm hiding in Yoruba land. It's not something that I will be seen or that can be kept somewhere. I make move of getting the police report and to put in the morgue then. But I was surprised. The wife was with the doctor report. He does not present it. When I reached morgue that night, and they asked me, they said they have the rules here that I need to present doctor report and the police report, which I'm unable to present any. So those are the angles that make me say, okay, we can't be looking at him in this form. Okay, I instruct the Darusha, which is the PA to my son, that this is how you are going to do. I give him the authorized then. The money is with him, do the right thing. I left there around that 3 o'clock in the midnight. So till when they bring the car. So it's not what I can just be looking, because he's a teenager, is a baby to me. As a father, I can't be looking at him in that such. So that the police reject me to give me the police report then. Because some people have been saying maybe I rush. It's not a matter of rushing, but that's how Yoruba used to. I'm from Ekiti. I can't be looking at my son dead. So that the mud is not they collect him from him. So those are the reason that make me to give that.
This is harrowing to listen to. But anyway, you're a Mohbad's lawyer, you know. But what I want to ask, what about securing full ownership of Mohbad's music to ensure that his family receives royalties that they are rightfully owned? Because this is an area that obviously has not been addressed. We are thinking about the emotional aspect. But in terms of his earnings that should be accrued from his music, how is that being secured for the future?
For now, I can tell you nothing is being done, in the sense that it will be like putting the cart before the horse. And I don't want a situation whereby, we don't want a situation whereby it will look as if the wife is more interested in the property of the late husband than money the husband. You understand? This is the aspect. But it's only, if there's anybody interested in the property, it's only the father-in-law. That's why the father-in-law is fighting now. It's only the father-in-law that is interested in the property. Against Yoruba culture, custom and tradition, against Ekiti culture and discipline. You know, how a father will become a celebrity because of his father. He has gone as far as Ghana radio to go and grant interview to defame our client. You understand? He went on so many stations. There is no reasonable station in this Nigeria that I have not visited. You understand? To say, oh, this is at a point it diverted attention completely from the real issue to say, oh, the child is not his grandson. Meanwhile, he knew. He said he wanted to do DNA to confirm the paternity. Yes, we said you don't have the local standing or the right to challenge the paternity of this son. Because the man, when he was alive, he bought 2 land. He bought one in Liam's name. He bought one for himself. He bought for his father. Do you understand? So if he's a bastard, he wouldn't have the mother in his house and the child as them. So all this thing went on. So we now say you don't have the right. At the point our client came and told us that instead of fighting this thing, let me just have the DNA. And we say, forget about legality. We say we are withdrawing all our objections. Oh, yeah, let us do the DNA. Baba has run away since that time. We have written like 4 letters to his lawyers to say, let us do this DNA. We are ready. Since that time, he has not mentioned DNA. The next thing we will hear is that we wrote to his lawyer. They wrote back and said, we are no longer his lawyer for the DNA thing. And Baba went on here to say, oh, I have debriefed my lawyers. They are not trustworthy. I'm bringing in another lawyer. Meanwhile, there was a judgment of court that gave us directives to go and do the DNA. So this is where the problem is. So to now be talking about property when the guy is still lying in the morgue will be unjust.
Now, a lot of things have leaked to the death that I'm observed. Firstly, the DNA is one of the motives that I'm observed that it can lead to that's my son. I wasn't pleased because a lot of things, the camera that is in the house was removed by an unknown person.
Wow.
So those are the angles that I want people to just, I want to invite a lot of lawyers that have interest in this case to come up because a lot of things is hidden. These results I wasn't pleased at all. At all.
You just mentioned the DNA, and you know one of
it's the motive.
it was the most trending issue.
Yeah.
The back and forth for a DNA.
Even one of his said friends said he was complaining about the paternity of that child.
In the first place, what was your relationship with your father-in-law like, and what triggered this reaction?
We had a very good relationship. Like our relationship was, it was like a father figure in my life. We had a very, very cordial relationship. Like he was even the one that made, the marriage, because I was married to my husband legally. He was the one that made the marriage, like he was the one that initiated the marriage. Even the birth of my child, because then I just finished my university. I was supposed to go for my master's. So he was even the one that, initiated this pregnancy, taking me to different places to have a baby, saying...
Oh, so it was actually
planned. Yes.
It wasn't as if it just happened.
No, it was planned. Like, we literally prayed for that baby. Like, it's like a miracle. We literally prayed. We fasted with this same man. We fasted for 7 days with my husband. We did so many things just for this baby because he just came to us and told us that the Holy Spirit tells him that we should have a baby and, the baby would be so glorious and, famous all over the world. And when he grows up and dies, the baby would be the one to buy his coffin. Those words still sound weird to me because, it's actually coming to pass now. Because now my husband is late. And Liam is the Mohbad. Do you understand? And obviously, Liam will be the one to still buy his coffin when he dies because, it has been written and it will happen. So we had a good relationship, not until after, before my husband demise, after the delivery of my child, it's from one problem to another. The fact that my husband forgave his mother, and he felt...
Okay, he and his mother...
they've departed for a long time, yes. So he felt betrayed, like, because we had a close relationship. So he felt betrayed, like, why do I have to accept to the forgiveness of his mother when we didn't discuss it with him? And it is not my fault. This is his child's decision, not me. But, I feel like maybe he felt like I betrayed him in one way or the other. It's been from one problem to another. The placenta of my child, he was insisting that he wanted to have the placenta of Liam after his delivery. And my husband said he cannot give it to him because his mother is not the one in his house. He has other wives, and he cannot trust him with his child's placenta. And when my husband was alive, he never queried him, he never questioned him. But now that he is dead, he's been saying different things like... And after my husband's demise, he literally called for my husband's properties, like the landed properties, his YouTube password, his car, like so many other things. And
he was asking you for it?
He was asking everybody. He was literally calling everybody to hacks. And, he called...
Why did he call you?
He did not call me. But he actually called people to talk to me. He called my dad. He called... my mother-in-law, my husband's friend, he caught so many people to talk to me.
Everything that Mohbad owns should go to him?
Including the landed property he got for Liam.
Are you serious?
Yes. Like, if I refuse to do that, he will make sure he destroy me everywhere.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So wait, first and foremost, even after immediately Mohbad, do you understand? Were you and him, did he contact you?
No, he did not. Even the day my husband was buried, like I went
like the day, yeah, exactly, the
day my husband got, the day of the burial, I immediately got there. Those area boys. I think my father-in-law and one of his girl were like I don't know. They are just like they have a relationship together. They've said so many things before I got there. Your
father-in-law and who? And
one woman. That woman is like they have a relationship together. So they've said so many like bad things about me before I got there. Even the day they wanted to bury my husband, I got to know online.
This was how many days after he died?
That was like a few hours after his demise.
Few hours after
yes,
his
I got
demise.
to know on me that they wanted to bury. When I got there, like a lot of people wanted to, kidnap my baby from me. They wanted to lynch me because of different things that they've said at the scene.
Just a few hours after his death.
Demise, yes. So when I got there, I stylishly moved away from those people to him because he was there. It was at the scene. I moved to him. I greeted him. He did not answer. Like I was even trying to put his grandson to him, like carry him. But he just moved away. So that was when I knew that, this is about to be a movie. Do you understand? That was when I knew that, no, this man had something in mind. But, you know, after that, I still tried to put a call through to him. When he started talking about the DNA, and I called him, I asked him, like, Daddy, what do you want? Like, why are you doing this to your grandchild? And why are you also doing this to me? Then he said, why do I have to take Liam to Mama's place?
So was that his beef?
No, I think I think the real beef is the fact that Liam is in the picture. Like, you know, he doesn't like the fact that there is Liam in this picture. You know, if there was no Liam, it's like he would be the one to be in charge of whatever my husband left behind, like his royalties and everything. But the fact that he has a child, you know, Liam is like the what is it called?
Is Liam an obstacle to him?
Yes, that is how it is. Liam is like an obstacle to him. Like, he doesn't like his existence. Like his existence, like is really like is like a threat to him. Let me put it that way.
So is that why this whole DNA thing?
Yes, and now he doesn't even want to do the DNA. That is why I'm here, because, you know, it's really sad is because a lot of people have, you know, you should go online and see what they've done to that innocent baby. They've called him so many despicable names. They've posted his picture online. They've written RIP. They've said so many things, you know. And now that he has done all these kind of things to this baby, the only thing I can do as a mother to get him out of this mess is to get the DNA done.
The good thing is that we actually have Liam in the house. I think we should bring him in because the resemblance between him and Mohbad, for instance, it's just so strong. Is there anybody that can bring Liam in for us to see?
He doesn't want to get the DNA done again.
No, but he initially asked for the DNA.
Yes, because he thought I was not going to do it.
But do you also think that you should do the DNA yourself?
I have to. No, I have no any other option.
Have you done it, or are you planning to do it?
We haven't. Like, my lawyer should be the one to.
Beautiful Liam. Can
Liam, say hi.
Look at him. Say hello. Now, this is a person, I mean, look at his eyes. He looks like his dad.
Liam, say hi. Look at
hello.
Camera. Liam, see.
No, you see, he looks like his dad. You know? So this is what is even most painful, because I know that there was a rumor at some point that they even accused the boy of being is this Sam Larry or what's his name? But Jesus. Look at him, you can see now he's a miniature version of his father. He has his father's eyes. Do you understand? But even with this, you're still insisting that you want to do the DNA test.
I have no excuse.
Just to make...
Yeah.
You know.
No,
but so what other wrong allegations they have made about you that you want to correct with public opinion?
Yeah, you know, they've said so many things. They've called me a murderer. They've said so many allegations. They said I pushed my husband. There is a guy online. His name is Yomi Fabi. Like he's a TikTok activist. That guy has been, you know, that guy is such a misogynistic person. Like, he hated women. I don't know why he hated women so much like that. Like, he has blocked me even before joining this Justice for Mohbad. And when he wanted, like, his first live video was, police officer, arrest Wunmi now. He has called me a murderer. He has called this little boy a bastard. He has said so many things about me. And, you know, and it's just so unfortunate because I feel like there should be an organization protecting widows.
Yeah.
You know, I'm too young to go through all of these things.
Yeah.
And a few days ago, he was at the police station. I was expecting him to say all of those things that he was saying about me. He should say it to the commissioner of police.
He was invited to the police?
No, he went there. He did a rally.
Okay.
Regarding this case, and I expected him to say all of those things that he has said about me. I expected him to say it in the presence of the commissioner of police, but he never did. So that shows how coward, like that shows that he's a coward. Do you understand? But he has been out there inciting the public against me, called me so many names. He has called me a murderer. He has called me a prostitute. He has even laid a false accusation that I pushed my husband because there is a trending conversation about a 3-second video online presently. The video was myself and a longtime friend called Zomo. My husband was even the one that made the recording of the video. That is the funniest. We had an argument. So there is another guy that stays with us. His name is Damola. I think, you know, those guys, they are hungry. So he needed money. So he now sent the 3 seconds of that same video of the issue that I had with a longtime friend to Yomi Fabi. And he had to blur that face away because he knew that my husband was not the one in the video. And he needed money. Yomi Fabi has been using that 3 seconds video to extort the public. He has collected over 10 million naira from people.
Wow.
Because they believe there is something in this video. You know, he has done so many And I pity the woman in his life because he hates me so much for no reason. I did nothing to him.
But what about the video that you sent to the recording you sent to your father-in-law where you were ranting? What was the last straw?
It was a call.
What was the last straw that made you rant? That made you so angry?
It was, his speakers online were literally cursing my baby. They said my baby will not clock a year old.
Oh my God.
His enemy is going to die young. Countless times that they will be saying those things, and he would be seated and listen to them saying those words to his grandchild, and they will never say anything about it. So that day, I was just showing on TikTok, then I saw a live video of one of his supporters cursing my child, posted his picture and wrote RIP, saying he was going to my enemy.
Are you serious?
I saw it with my 2 eyes, and as a mother, like so many of those people, and as one of his speaker, only child is in prison. So most of the caliber of people that works for him as a speaker are people with that has no integrity, and I cannot fold my hands and allow them to do that to my child.
No, but was it true that even the TikTok station that was supporting you, leave him, let him work. The TikTok station that was supporting you, that at some point they were even sending bullying trolls to those who actually supported you.
Like those people, they were going to their DMs to tell them that either they support my father-in-law and Naira Marley, or they would block them and post their picture.
Were there death threats as well?
So many death threats, even in my DMs, like uncountable death threats. Like a lot of people that has believed the wrong narratives of my father-in-law. Like a lot of death threats to the people supporting me, to even myself. I no longer feel safe. It's been from one problem to another. Even that little baby, he has not enjoyed the childhood memories that, I'm supposed to give him as a mother. Because, I'm always scared that what would happen. I don't even know who they have planted to harm me or that little baby. And, I'm just doing all of this thing as a mother because I have tried. I have done my best. I have written something on my Insta story just to at least explain to people, but I feel like people are not getting to understand me. And I'm only doing this as a mother because my father-in-law would do anything to take Liam out of the way.
Even up to now?
Up to this moment. He still got an interview a few days ago, calling this little baby a bastard. He's talking about DNA.
As in the world can see now that he's a carbon copy of his father. It's
just so sad. And I'm here mainly because of the DNA and because of the burial of my husband.
But have you done the DNA now?
I haven't.
Why haven't you done it?
Because, he would deny, this man, that is what he actually wanted. He doesn't want me to do it because he wants to have something to say. He wants this whole case to keep going. And he needs to do it because he started this narrative.
Yeah, but you can do it on your own free will.
I can't, but I want him to do it. I also want him to do it. Do you know why, Mommy? Because I want him to see it himself. He want this case to keep going. If I should go out to do a DNA, although my lawyer has said I would do it, but if I should do a personal DNA, without his involvement, he will still go out there to manipulate the public. Let's
bring the lawyer into this. Okay. Now, how do you think she can best handle this thing legally? Even when it comes to even the defamation of her character, and also this DNA issue, what's the best foot forward?
The problem is this: sometimes you doubt what happens in Nigeria. For like that Yomi Fabi, it's an infantile radical. You understand? We know busy actors who make billions from that, from filmmaking, but he's just busy, like jobless people staying online, just castigating her and all that. I don't have any issue if you have evidence to show that Wunmi knows anything about it. If she knows anything about it, I won't be in the matter. I don't just take matter, I have a pedigree. Then, Nigeria has a funny way of handling things. Now, if she start to concentrate her energy on swing, they will turn it around and say, our husband is still in the mosque. So these are the things. But we are advising, we are taking necessary steps. It will just ripen with time. We are already taking positive steps. Towards this, we are going to deal with them one by one.
So right now, Mohbad hasn't been buried?
Up to now, it's in the mosque. Now, and the father does not want the guy to be buried for one reason.
Why?
Once the guy is buried today, or the DNA is done today, the end of his, emergency, celebrity will end. It will end.
So you think he's doing that for just celebrity?
Yes.
Or to gain?
If he gets to call, you see the way they turn camera around him. Normally, he's not even supposed to come to such areas. But he keep on talking and saying, we have been begging and we are still begging him. Now, this morning, Nigerians should help us to beg him to come and do the DNA. We are ready. You understand?
No, but what I'm saying is that why does he have to do the DNA? Is the DNA not between Mohbad and his son?
The problem is this: he has some online attackers or backdogs online. They have already been saying that the DNA is going to be manipulated. That's why we're saying we want it to be all-inclusive.
No, but is there a way that if he refuses to do it, you as a lawyer can ensure that
Yes,
the process is legal, the process is all inclusive, because all you need is
the sample of the boy
and
the dad. You know,
you don't need the
yes, you know,
so we cannot hold you ransom for
one
that.
cannot get access to Mohbad's corpse, especially in the sense where they are saying he's the one that has somebody has allegedly killed him. So we have to get the order of court. We are written to the
because
court.
you cannot get access to
Mohbad's, yes,
that's why you need the grandfather.
Yes.
Okay.
So we want to give them the chance to present themselves, be ready for it. We are written to the court now to say, talk. They are not
Can you not be legally instructed to do that?
Yeah, it can be. It can be. But the process will start all over again. And the judicial system in Nigeria is very low.
Okay, so at what point would Mohbad's body be finally buried?
Until when the coroner inquest is completed.
Until when the DNA is done.
And the DNA done. And again,
Mohbad's
father is the one that is holding everything. He went and worked hands in gloves with some people to go and file application to stop the proceedings of the coroner inquest. The coroner inquest they opened, I think yesterday. He didn't allow it to go on again. We have been on research for more than 6 months.
6 months.
6 months now. Nothing was going on. They put it on hold.
While all this is happening, he's always going online to manipulate the government. Like they are the one delaying it. Do you understand? Because he has that public sympathy already. So whatever he says, people tend to believe him.
But why so? Why don't they tend to believe you? That is
because I have not been talking. Even not for this DNA. Do you know what made me talk? He has one brother online, my adopted brother. His name is Muyiwa. That guy went on TikTok like a few weeks ago, and he tried to lie that the reason why the DNA is on hold is because they got to realize that it will be carried out in Nigeria and they won't get an accurate result. That was one.
But you can get an independent body.
There is no DNA.
No, they are trying to do all those things because of money. Because the Muyiwa has health issues, so he needed money for his treatment. So what they've been doing is to try to manipulate the public and extort them by getting money from them.
Hello, Uncle Ayo. Hello. Did I wake you up? Or you are still beside your baby? Baby? Anyway, I'm sorry to disturb you. I'm on live chat. I just want to correct something. I don't want to be calling Baba. I don't want to call Baba to be correcting it. Yeah? Please. Because I know you were aware of what happened. Anyway, quick one, Uncle Ayo. I might not be calling you again, but this one is very important. One of Ashana's interview yesterday, she stated that I quote. Are you listening, sir? Oh boy. Ashana stated, and I quote, she said she was ready for interview, for DNA. And when she was ready, Baba Mohbad told her with his lawyer that if the result come out, she should not say it out. And I am out here telling people it was the other way around. Please, can you put more light into this? You don't have to talk much. Please, because everybody is watching me. The world is watching me.
To be sincere, where you get that notion, it should be the one to prove it, because there's nothing like that anyway. So that is what I can say. There's nothing like why would the world not know what the result of the DNA? Is it not everybody that is in success? So at the appropriate times, you will get his reply.
Yes.
That's what I can say.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir. Bye-bye, sir. Can you all hear that? Because I don't want you to think, oh, BJ is lying. BJ is covering up. Can you all hear that? I knew about the DNA. It was the other way around. So that is lie number one. Lie Mohammed. Yeah, let's continue.
So and a lot of people has been dragging them. So he needed something to keep them going. That was why he went online to lie about the DNA. That was one thing that made me stand on my feet, that I need to speak up. Even if it's just few people that are going to listen to my truth, I would speak. And the good mothers that knows how it feels to be a widow at my age would feel my pain and come to my rescue. That is why this DNA needs to be done. My father-in-law will take years and he will not do this DNA. And he'll still keep going out there to talk about it. But
this is so unfortunate, because the poor boy's corpse is just lying down there.
Nítorí tó fi jọ́jọ́ ikú ọkọ tèmi wọ́n fi òkà sí mi lọ́wọ́ òun dẹ̀ ló ti sábà lé mi ọmọ òun ló sábà lé mi o gbogbo mọ̀lẹ́bí ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ̀ pé òun ló ti fẹ́ kí mi tó ti sọ̀rọ̀ kú ẹ̀ That is story for another day. It is none of your business. But now, I'm saying it boldly that as little as I am the mother of my child. And none of you all, I repeat, none of you all has any right to tell me to do DNA except I wish to do it. Yahweh,
kò sí DNA ẹ gbà bó tó tẹ̀lé wà pọ̀ ẹ ní rí DNA ẹ wù lè
DNA mọ́. Liam will never be a victim like his father. I promise you all that. Liam will never be a victim like his father. He will be a victory. Minimum patient Yahweh ni. Ọmọ tẹ̀rín labour for 7 days. And he, that's your long ọba olùgbèjà mi. Jésù olùgbèjà mi tó ń gbèjà mi láti ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì. Èmi ọmọ ìlọ́wọ́ láti fún blogger. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn píàmù ayé àtàwọn ọkùnrin tòótọ́ wọ́n rẹ̀ gbà yín mi ká. Èmi ò ní láti rojọ́. Mi ò sọ̀rọ̀ látọ̀ wá gbà mí. Tó bá yẹ pé nítorí ọ̀tọ̀ èmi ọmọ wù mí. Wọ́n pa lérí Olúwa.
So Naira Marley and Mohbad's father management, Naira Marley's management now and Mohbad's father, are they in
Mohbad's father is always going. So I've been going to him. It's been going to him. We have. He's been going to it. So this is where you don't understand. Even some people that were arrested for the murder of Mohbad, about 4 of them, the man went there and bailed them out.
Mohbad's dad,
the suspects.
He went to bail all the suspects out.
Like
so he will not
himself, my father-in-law and his supporter went. In fact, they have relationship. He has relationship with those suspects. One, like to the extent that they have a lawyer. His name is Odumusu, because one of their workers actually said it online, and there was an evidence for it that their lawyer is the one coaching those suspects on what to say. All they have to do is just to go there.
Why were they arrested as suspects? Why did they feel that they had something to do with
the guy that fought with him at the show that made him sustain an injury, the guy that called the nurse and the nurse that injected him, it was the injection that led to his death.
So is it that the injection must have been laced with something?
That is what I don't know. Now I don't even know if it is a mistake or the nurse was sent, because the nurse has been acting so nonchalant since the death of my husband. She's been clubbing, like she's been doing that thing to my face, like a fellow lady like me that knows what it takes to be a widow. And I was widowed at 24. Like this is just the beginning of my life. Do you understand? And the nurse has been out there enjoying living her life, and and now me, I'm out into all state. I cannot even live my life. I can't even move freely. That little boy, I've not even experienced the joy of childhood. And the same nurse that would decide to get married someday could just leave me in the hands of wolves to devour me. Do you understand? So one thing is I cannot even forgive that nurse, because she made me a widow. She made me a widow. And, she's been acting so nonchalant, living her life, acting as if nothing has happened. Do you understand?
But was she ever questioned? Was she even called?
Yeah, she was. No, she has agreed. She admitted.
But did she admit that? What did she say about the injection that she gave? Did she say it was wrongly administered? Does she believe that it plays a role?
I really do not even know, because, after the first hospital that we took my husband to, the doctor asked him, what did you do? She was trying to explain, is this, is that. The doctor was trying, did you watch the injection? But she said no. But what did you expect her to say? No. The second hospital, they asked her, what did you give him? Why does he have to, what did you give him that led to his death? She mentioned those things to the doctor, and I don't even know, but she will be at the inquest March 14. So I just want to listen to what she would have to say. But so many people on Twitter have said they will coach her on the lights. So they even went as far as saying the nurse would say it in the court that I told her that my husband is not just reacting to injection like that. Thank God my husband has a personal nurse. So in case if she goes there to lie, the nurse will have to be at the inquest too.
Why didn't you people get that husband's personal nurse? Why did you guys use this nurse?
The nurse was my husband's personal nurse was not around.
Okay.
Yes, she was not available. So that was why one of his friend caught spending just gave us his own personal nurse. He said he's been using that nurse for the past 3 years. So that was why we went for it. And my husband, he was not really he was not sick. He was fine. Do you understand? Aside from the injury that he sustained, although the hand was swollen, but it wasn't something that
that was life-changing.
Exactly.
Mohbad, who from witnesses' evidence was said to be tipsy and hyperactive, became infuriated, and as he attempted to come down to clear the road, Ibrahim, his friend, prevailed on him not to do so for his personal safety. This further infuriated Mohbad, and it eventually degenerated into a hot argument between the two of them and physical fights. In the course of an attempt by Mohbad to hit Ibrahim with a blow, Mohbad missed him and smashed his hand against the window of their Prado Jeep, causing him an injury on his forehand, and he bled profusely. And he bled profusely. And he bled profusely.
You understand? So I really do not know if the injection was a mistake or the nurse was sent. That is like I'm still in the dark up to this moment, because the nurse has never acted like somebody that is sorry. Do you understand? Like, she's been acting like somebody that, that has backings. Like, let me put it that way. Not even, like, despite everything that people have been doing to me all this way online, not even a message. As
she has never contacted you.
She has never. Those things, you don't know. Like if I should see that nurse face to face, the only thing I would just say to him, like, everything that she has done to me, she would also experience it. Because, she's like, it's only a wicked person that would act that way. You know that you did this thing to this lady's husband, and you knew how people has treated her and her husband. Not even hello. You don't understand. Like, I expected her to at least show sympathies, but she never cared.
Okay, so when you say these other four people who were arrested as suspects, apart from the nurse, why were they also arrested as suspects?
Yes.
What roles did they play that last day?
The person that gave the number of the nurse, that's a role.
Okay.
You understand? Police will want to know why he gave it, or was it deliberate? Was there a collusion between him and the nurse? You understand? So that is one. Then the nurse that injected, and which other person?
And the guy that called the nurse.
The guy that called the nurse. You
so all four people that played a pertinent role.
And the people that bullied him too.
Okay. And Nigerians will not even want to know anything. They just want to believe whatever anybody has said. Oh, he killed. How did he kill? Did she kill him? Okay. And the father-in-law at the point said it was the concubines that killed the guy. That's one narration. Now, how the concubine killed the guy? He didn't mention him. Where they killed him? He didn't mention him. How?
He has said so many.
ẹ̀yin olóṣì Mohbad ló máa kọ́kọ́ kú ni tẹ̀dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ayíǹde lórí burúkú sí gbòòrò. Mohbad lọ́nà ọ̀run. Akútúkútú ẹ̀ lọ́nà ọ̀run ó ń pẹ́ adògì àfọ̀bẹ́làdì.
Kò sí àrà ọ̀run máa sán pa ibi tó sùn sí.
Ẹ fẹ́ kú olóṣì aláyébàjẹ́.
Hello. Bàbá, ìyá ló sọ̀rọ̀. Bí kò bá pa ìyá mi máa tó bí burúkú ni. Bí kò bá pa yín bàbá. Bí kò bá pa ìyá ẹ̀ máa tó bí burúkú ni.
Dárúkọ mi báyìí ok so ṣé nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ nìyẹn. Ok, nǹkan tẹ́yìn wá fẹ́ lèmi náà máa sọ fún yín because òun bọ̀wọ́ kí ní ìhòòtò ẹ̀ ń pẹ̀ mí.
I'm so sorry. Please, I was actually sorry. Please, what exactly did I do to you?
Wunmi.
I think you can hear. Wunmi said, Ayat, please, what have I done for you? Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Wunmi, hold on. Wunmi, hold on. Have you, wait, have you ever? Yeah, but presidential. Oh yeah, Wunmi, hold on. Wait, show the shen kokon, Wunmi, show the shen kokon. Oh yeah, Wunmi, show the shen kokon. Oh yeah, ma binu, show the shen kokon. Wunmi, hold on. Wunmi, show. Okay.
Be in the cell, be in anything I hear me. No, I'm not coming so I don't follow me. So you think you go out to see me in 615. See me so sure when I want to see me 615. But I still have to buy anything I hear. What the I go my jail. That's why you know you live, but I don't know how to see you. Once I get up, I just need it like I hear what on the top with you. That's what I hear what I want you to
hold on. Ṣé nípa tí Mohbad kú? Ìgbésẹ̀ wo ló gbé? So I just want peace to reign. My brother, ọlọ́wọ́ lè kí wọ́n fi ẹnu kọ́ pẹ̀lú gbogbo life tó ń ṣe pé ó máa pa ó máa jẹ́ wá sí gbogbo.
I say one thing about it. If I have something information from somewhere, myself. I only want to. I don't stop there to tell those good people. I have sent about some of the NSC to them, Baba.
Because ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pé ìta ló lọ́mọ ó jẹ́ wa.
Presidential, àwọn tó
jẹ́ kí brother mi sọ̀rọ̀.
Wunmi, je fẹ́ gbọ́. Ṣọmọ àwọn tó ń jẹ́ kọ́rọ̀ yìí wọ́ọ̀sì fún ẹ. If you can do one thing, because ṣọ́ra àwọn King White àwọn tó ń dàbí pé maybe they are your team. They are the ones who are making things worse for you, because it's more as if maybe you guys are hiding the truth. Like they are fighting against justice, because ṣọ́ra on other side, okay, nǹkan tó pa Mohbad ló ń wá.
Am I going to tell you? No.
Sọ fún àwọn pípín ẹ̀ kọ́ máa tó bá lè jáde síta pé ẹ jọ àwọn kan báyìí àní nǹkan tó sọ nísìnyí pé ó ti kú before kí nǹkan kan báyìí ṣe tó ṣẹlẹ̀ òótọ́ ló ní ká má sọ ohun, but the more you're hiding the truth, the more they think maybe you know something that you don't want the people to know.
I know nothing.
Wunmi, jẹ́ kí n sọ fún ẹ, ó yá aṣọ fẹ́ gbọ́, ok, níwájú Ọlọ́run àtẹ̀yàn, presidential, ó yá Wunmi dúró, Wunmi yá dúró, wait, Wunmi, nǹkan tó gbọ́ rí, ó yá dúró, presidential lélẹ̀, Wunmi, hold on, ó yá dúró, Wunmi, tó bá ti jẹ́ kí n sọ̀rọ̀, hold on, presidential ni, na me be this, na that year too na dey call out, na him be this. Ọjọ́ tí Mohbad kú, gbogbo our street ni wa, a lè má sìn ní Nàìjíríà, but we know wetin dey sup. Àgbo ibẹ̀, kò sí nǹkan tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀, na just one phone call pé wetin do that boy. Nǹkan táwọn àkọ́kọ́ gbẹ́ pé okay, bóyá ibi Ìkòròdú lọ́ ti gun ní ọ̀bẹ máa ń jẹ.
Ẹgbẹ́ mi sì kàn ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ọyọ́ kan gbé ọsọ kíta, ọgbà tàtọ̀ náà ti jẹ́ jù.
Yeah, ọlọ́gba abẹ́rẹ́ sí, sóde ẹ̀kọ́ gba abẹ́rẹ́ sí. Nǹkan táwa mọ̀ gbogbogbò ni.
Nígbà tí mo lóyún Liam, ọkọ mi ò jẹ́ kí n lọ sí àtìnáńtà, kò jẹ́ kí n bímọ, ṣé ẹ kí ọdún tí ọmọ mo bá ṣé ẹ kí n fi sí aláìkó, kò jẹ́ kí n bí ọmọ mi lọ hospital mi, ìbí ọmọ sọ́dá, mo ní tiẹ̀, wọ́n nígbà tí wọ́n tiẹ̀ yẹn just because if you keep this hospital, and the only reason is because of the fear that if the managers are everywhere, they might attack you.
Wunmi, látẹ̀ní lọ, o ò ní gbẹ́ pé bí a mo sọ anything, nípa ọ̀rọ̀ yìí mọ́. The reason why I won't say anything is that, let me tell you, tó bá tún gbẹ́ pé mo sọ̀rọ̀, bóyá àwọn tó ń support ẹ̀, ọ dárúkọ mi. Tó bá ti dárúkọ mi, èmi tó dárúkọ mi mo ṣe sọ̀rọ̀. I didn't cause Liam. You need to go and listen to whatever they send to you. Wait, Wunmi, sórí nǹkan tó post nípa ọmọ tèmi náà. Wait, Wunmi, dúró. Wunmi, ọjọ́ tí bàbá Mohbad tó sọ pé bàbá Mohbad fẹ́ bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí online náà ni mo ti ṣépè fún bàbá Mohbad pé kò ní dáa fún ẹ pé ṣé mo mọ̀ ya láyà yín rí ni. Ipe mi ò.
Ọ̀rẹ́ mi pèsè láàrin wa ti Wunmi bọ́dà bí kò ń ṣe èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ o because àwọn méjèèjì wọ́n ti àwọn mi ò fi wọ́n ṣeré kò tẹ̀ sí nǹkan kan lè pàtó.
Ọkàn èmi. Wunmi, gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo yín sọ gbogbo tí gbogbo yín sọ pé DNA ọ̀nà whatever ṣó gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi rí.
Welcome back. Still on justice for Mohbad. As you can see, this is more like a repetition of what Cynthia said at every given moment she had on private podcast and also on private national television, in which this is one of it. She got the opportunity to hear her opinion, her thought, and also express herself, which is okay. It is not a crime even if someone is caught red-handed. You still have the opportunity for you to defend yourself or for you to tell the world why you did what you did. And then the law would take its due course. Right now, social media is on fire and people are upset, very, really upset. People do not understand. They are kind of confused. Who is saying the truth and who is not saying the truth? I have always said it times without number that if push comes to shove, one will give way. One will give way. About the DNA, according to Cynthia, Mohbad's father is stalling on the DNA in order to extend the duration of closure. That's what she said. And that Mohbad's father knows fully if the DNA is conducted. She said the DNA is 100% going to be positive and that child is Mohbad's. In fact, the host of the show is already tilting towards Cynthia, probably because certain people have made some calls or because she also wants to be in line with other media personalities like herself. She said, oh, the child is looking like Mohbad. If you have watched Jerry Springer and some of these American show where DNA is the major topic in the issue, you realize that looking like they give them the opportunity. They give them the opportunity to argue, and you see them even pointing to pictures and videos and telling you how the chin, the nose, the eyes, the hair, and other body parts look like the man that they claim got them pregnant and is the father of their child. Not until DNA is presented, and they even give it an extra in those shows. They give it an extra. They do some kind of lie detector test, and the reports of it are presented. But the conclusion of it at the end of the day is the DNA. DNA. Have you met someone that looks like you or that has certain resemblance to you? Like, does that mean that person is your family member? Now, in this case, we are saying that DNA should be conducted. Why? Because of the complexity surrounding the demise of Mohbad and all of the story. If the child is for Mohbad, that does not still absolve those people like Cynthia who are present in that house. People can unalive their significant other. She's trying to kind of remove the part where Spending said there was a fight. She has never mentioned, and I'm kind of thinking that majority of these hosts do not even understand. I guess their work is they don't even understand. They've not been following up. what I will suggest to some of these hosts of these big television station media houses is to have they are supposed to have I don't know if the practice is there, or maybe they cannot just afford it. If you are a major host on such a big capacity, what you should have is people who are in industrial attachment students, or have these young students that are on your payroll. These young students are the ones that will score social media, and they will be the one following up stories. And if you can, because I don't know if these guys, if they really have up-to-date information, or even any detail at all. There are questions that I was expecting them to ask, but they are not asking those questions. They are not connect. The only thing she related to her is the part of the audio recording. I guess she was able to gather that one, like, oh, that audio recording, what got into you that made you utter all that you uttered to that man? And she said, people who are in support of Mohbad's father, they were cursing my son. That's why I called. And the lady said, seriously? And he said, oh, he was there, and they are saying all of these things. And there are evidences that he sat down there, he didn't tell them to stop, that is his grandchild. When the man requested for DNA and you refused to get DNA done, you all heard the audio recordings, because I tried a little bit of my best, because I didn't want to make this video long. If not, for every sentence she's saying, I'll be bringing updates. We've been on this journey for a long time. And if you watch, you realize that a chunk of this platform is dedicated to justice for Mohbad, justice for humanity. Why? Not because there are no other intriguing. After all, this platform has been existing for years. So it's not like there are no, but we just had to just give this for justice for humanity. So if you watch, I just had to impute some few parts there. You hear where Cynthia said she's not going to get DNA done. She has been pretending like her voice has not been heard. Her voice has always been there on social media. She has said a lot of things. There is only one audio that I wanted to put in there, but I just said, okay, let me just say it to you guys, because I'm sure majority must have heard it. Now, she's talking about bullying of Mohbad and all of that. There is a part where Mohbad has screamed, saying, I don't know who to trust anymore. Cynthia is with them. I saw Cynthia with them. Meaning Cynthia was with his enemies. Like, Cynthia is with them. I don't know. Why is Cynthia with them? Cynthia is with them. What about that part? Why is Cynthia with those people? That she's claiming that there are certain people with masks that chased Mohbad. Now, Malian record could do that. Like, let us bully him a little bit. It is possible, but there's no evidence to that. If you watch the modus operandi, of those guys in UK, Peckham and all of that, that's how they roll. They go with the mask and they try to chase you. So when she talked about that, I said, okay, let me connect that to Naira Marley. But then it is not always going to yield any result, because you don't have evidence, and it is not necessarily going to be linked to Naira Marley if there is no evidence to that. Then on the side of Sam Larry, where Sam Larry, jumped in and did and all of that. According to him, he said that he had given Mohbad some money to come to do some show, and Mohbad refused. Mohbad owed him money. Mohbad has been running around. That's why. And let us assume that Zlatan is the one that set up Mohbad. But at the end of the day, from what we heard from the lawyer who had the full clip, he said at the end of the day, they settled and they had a drink and everyone sat down, ate, and they forgot about it. Like, it was just like this thing on the street. Even in churches, you have issues, competition and attacks on each other. So this is street. This is the way things operate. That's basically how it is. That is basically how it is. So, about the bullying part, Sam Larry got in there and said, so you are the one. It could mean two things. It could mean that he said it so that Mohbad will not know that Zlatan is the one that did the setup. So like, I just came into you guys accidentally. Then two, it could also be that he was informed. This is what these guys do. These guys are thugs. If you live in some part of Nigeria, let's even use Lagos as an example of where most of these things started from. You will see some thugs, some foolish people on the street, their job is to extort from people for no reason at all. They will say their father owns the land, and it's kind of funny. So it could have been that he's the one that goes around taking royalties or tax or VAT. You know how these guys do? They just come and say, hey, you must give us money for goods that you bought and you are taking to your house. They say you must give them money for buying the goods. Imagine such craziness. So this guy is part of those people that go around like, oh, there is a video shoot. They will go there and ask for money. There is a construction and they can't see security around. They want money. And you are building your house and they see you, they want money. And all of those craziness. And they have weapons. And they have some kind of godfather. Like in the case of this guy, it is Obelegushi. So these guys know police officers. They have bribe police officers. They work alongside police officers. What they grab from you, they give to the police. And now if you're expecting that the police will do the due diligence on this, no. Police, they are not different from these people. They stand on the street and try to extort money from off you. So it's the same thing. These guys work together. So about that part of that bully, how is it connected to, this part of Sam Larry? How is it connected to the update that Karimo gave to us, Cynthia's sister, saying that Mohbad saw some hard substance in his bag on his way out of Nigeria? He was traveling with some group of people. She didn't mention who this group of people are, or maybe she does not know them. They were traveling, and Mohbad suspected that something has been planted in his bag. For that thing to be planted in his bag, it means there is someone in that crew or someone who is on the other side who is going to take. And they said Cynthia was beaten. These are some of the things that I was expecting this host. Collect this information here and there. Build. You have to understand what you are asking this individual about. You have to build character. You have to first let us look at the character of the person we are bringing in. Those are the questions. We want to ask questions surrounding her as a person, then connect it to the person that is deceased, and then from there you begin to move into certain stories that you have heard, some important clarification. Like, look, there are 2 audio recordings or 3 that I can play out to you now. This audio recording, Mohbad was screaming, Cynthia is with them. Cynthia was there. What was that? Who were you with? These are questions you should ask. This is how to get results and answers. You want to get clarity on it, then you begin to pick on those complex matters. That is how it works. And about the DNA, like I said, push when it comes to shove, something has to give. Now, Mohbad's father is saying, and you heard from Mohbad's father's younger brother, Mr. Muyiwa, that Cynthia claimed is a sick man and needs money to treat himself. Someone is in the US, they said he's a sick man and he needs money. Maybe his insurance is not working, or is not okay, or is illegal there. I don't know. They say the man needs money, and that is why with Mohbad's father they are playing this game so as to elongate. The more this case is extended, the more Mohbad's father will get sympathy and money to sustain himself, because after this, that's the end of the journey. Mohbad's father's younger brother spoke because Bukky Jesse had called, said, look, Mr. Ayo Muyiwa, we want to find out about this thing of about this DNA of a thing. What's up about it? Can you explain further? Can you break it down? We want to know what is going on. And the man said, well, it is not true. So the thing is, Muyiwa, Mohbad's father, Cynthia, they are both saying it is not true. It is true. It is not true. It is true. We don't need to go about on and on about who is true or who is not true, or who is saying the truth or who is not saying the truth. We should care less about that. It's none of our business. We don't want to even know who is saying the truth. We care less about your truth as per DNA. What we care for is the DNA. The other time she said, Mohbad's father said we should not talk about it publicly. The man came out and said it's a lie. Am I stupid? Why would I tell? And I was expecting Mohbad's father's lawyer or let us say Cynthia's lawyer. After all, they are the ones who are alleging. I was expecting them to show proof of how the man communicated this to them. Did he communicate it through the lawyer of Cynthia? I should make that clear, like through the lawyer, Mr. Sanshitu, and he can come out to say it's not true. That Mohbad's father told me that the DNA, or is it the other guy in the UK, the one that they said Dosumo, is it whatever, that they have kicked off from it. So Cynthia is trying to make it like, oh, they have removed the other lawyer in the UK so that we can stop, so that they can stop the DNA from progressing. The truth of the matter is that people suspected that former lawyer, Odumosu. They suspected him. They felt that he was in collusion with Cynthia and the lawyer on DNA. And also, some people established, I don't know if it is true, that that guy is from Cynthia's mother's village. They are from the same place. So people felt there is a kind of a conflict of interest here, and people also felt that this man is not a man of integrity. And Mohbad's father said that the so-called lawyer, without confirmation from him, had gone to conclude with this Cynthia's lawyer about the DNA, saying the DNA will be done and they should settle it in between themselves as family, and there should be no need, all of those trash shit talk here and there. So we said to ourselves, enough is enough. Standard practice, 3 DNA has to be conducted. 1 DNA will be conducted by an independent body, an organization that cannot be bought, and it could even be the government. And one will be conducted by Cynthia, one will be conducted by Mohbad's father. That's how it's supposed to be. So this talk about they don't want nobody to hear about it. It's not true. I was ready for the DNA. Mohbad's father, I wanted to get the DNA done. But if I get it done, the man will argue. And you heard what Karimo said, that Cynthia had already gotten the DNA done. And she has a result. Why don't you get Mohbad's father's own done? And Cynthia is already saying, if I do it now by myself, I've not done it. But if I do the DNA and the result comes out positive, this man will say it is not true. And he will use that to kind of spread stories about me. So I want us to do it together. Mohbad's father, you are hearing. They say, let them do the DNA together. Let the corona inquest be running while this DNA thing is sorted out, mister. We have come to the point now. Enough of this. I don't think there's any other platform she wants to go again. She has, finished up all of the platform. I don't think there's anywhere she wants to go and talk again. And Mohbad's father, I don't know, maybe you want to start your own talk again. We don't want to hear anything. Forget about what she has said if she's lying. That's a new approach. Because people are not going to donate nothing. Not even general support for you. Let this DNA be done ASAP. Like she has said it clearly. Forget about coming to the public to now debunk. We don't want to debunk. We don't want to hear debunking. DNA done in 3 places. 1, because she talked about it like, they said that the DNA should be done abroad because if it is done in Nigeria, yeah, it is okay. Let the DNA be done in 3 places. Cynthia, let your geneticists get your sample, and let Mohbad's father's own get, and let one other body get theirs. If it is the government, let it be done. Let the DNA be done now. Like it's Mohbad's father, we are not interested in any other thing again than concluding on this DNA. So that will be out of the way. Then we can now be thinking of what will happen at the corona inquest. But nobody's going to come and be extending and say, hey, I just want to update you guys about the corona inquest. The corona inquest, the only thing that is interesting is the private autopsy that has been conducted, and the pathologist said he has it and nobody knows about the results of it. That is another thing. That is the only thing that the inquest will read out and we will kind of connect to. Nothing more. So only 2 things are important to us here. We don't want to hear stories anymore. DNA. She has said what she wants to say. She has said, we don't want to know if she's a liar. We care less. We don't want to even know if she is saying the truth or you are a liar. We don't care. Now is DNA. Get the DNA done. I don't think it takes some kind of science or college degree or whatever for you to conclude within. You don't need to get a degree for that. So very quick, ASAP. She said she wants it done like now and she must get it done now. So therefore, Mr. Aloba, pick a date. Let the samples be taken. Cynthia is taking her own sample the same day, the same minute, the same hour. You are also taking your own sample the same date, the same minute, the same hour. The other third body, either it's the government or independent body, is also going to take their own samples through their geneticists, and the samples will be flown wherever it needs to be flown, taken to wherever, And we need the answers to this pending issue. That's the end of the journey on that part. So enough of coming to address the public on whatever. Cynthia is a liar. We care less. We don't want to know. Anybody can lie. But the end of the road will be the confirmation, the truth, the day of reckoning. And that's what we are waiting for.